Sounds good, man. So the Leafs continue their road trip on Wednesday night against the New York Rangers, and then they play the New York Islanders on Saturday night. So a couple games to wrap up the road trip, just a 2-game slate for the Leafs next week. And hopefully they don't have the roller coaster week that they just had. But if they do have a roller coaster week, we'll hope that they can get as many points as possible, because this Atlantic Division looks like an absolute buzzsaw right now.
Yeah, you're not making up any ground with winning streaks. Nothing's changing.
And how you mentioned that Boston is now on a roll. It's just going to be a disaster. The two teams that finished second and third in this division and have to play each other in the first round. That's just going to be the most brutal thing in the National Hockey League. Because right now, you look at the standings, the overall league standings based on points percentage. Florida's number 1, Tampa's number 4, and the Leafs are number 5. So you have 3 of the top 5 teams in the NHL in the same division.
Based on the wild card right now. So does Boston have the first wild card?
Boston has the second wild card spot behind Pittsburgh.
Okay, Pittsburgh. So you may still end up getting the top seed, because I was gonna say it might be one of those situations where you're better off coming 4th in the division and you get someone on the opposite, and you're still going to get a good team, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're avoiding.
Yeah, you try to avoid the Atlantic Division bracket.
Yeah, so like, for example, like if you're Boston, you avoid Toronto, Florida, and Tampa Bay.
That's probably the play. I'd rather take my chances with the Metro Division, as good as some of those teams are as well.
Yeah.
But man, I want nothing to do with Tampa. And then the Florida and the Leafs, like if something clicks for either of those teams, either of them could go win a Stanley Cup if something clicks.
Would you rather play Florida or Pittsburgh?
That's tough. I'd rather play Pittsburgh, I think.
Washington.
Oh my God, that's so tough.
See, it doesn't matter.
It almost, yeah, they're all just so good. I'm worried about this Panthers offense and slowing them down. I think the one thing about playing a team like Florida is that defensively, they're not very, very good compared to some of the other teams, some of the other elite teams. Like right now, I'll go look at the Panthers' defensive numbers real quick. They are 14th in the NHL in terms of goals against per game right now.
Okay.
So this is a team that's obviously, scoring over 4 goals a game. They just scored 9 goals the other night, but defensively, they're a little bit, I don't want to say they're weak, but they're not very good.
Yeah. To me, I don't know, man. I wouldn't, you try your best. I always say it's funny with hockey when you see a certain team, and we were supposed to wrap this up, and here we go. But in hockey, it's funny. You see certain teams that have had certain cultures, and sometimes your mind naturally goes that way based on the history of that team, even if that team still doesn't play that way. For example, like Boston and Philadelphia, you naturally always think, oh, they're tough. And their current raw, I'm not saying they're not, but they may not be. Or roster that you think, oh, that team's soft because they have always been kind of soft. Well, no, maybe now. Like if you look at their lineup, they're not. There is part of me, and I'm trying to do my best to not go that way when it comes to Florida, whereas Florida just wouldn't be an intimidating team to play in the playoffs. But I think I'd take Florida. And the reason for that is I hate to be the guy to say experience matters and like push those narratives, but there is something in the National Hockey League about teams being battle tested. Teams that have been through wars before, have lost wars.
That's a real thing, man.
Yeah. You go back to Washington winning the cup, the Blues finally winning the cup. It was hard, man. Like the road.
San Jose getting to the cup final.
Oh, all those years. So, but then it does seem to get to a point where the team where it's like, yeah, they're battle tested. Tampa Bay. Same thing. It was hard for them. All those years of disappointment, like being among the best teams in the league. But it got to a point where they were ready. And I'm not saying Florida's not ready, but Tampa's ready. No one's going to question Tampa if you get them. Pittsburgh and Washington have won before. Would you want Boston? Like just for like the headache. Would you want the added stress that it's the Bruins? Oh my God.
No, I don't think any Leaf fan wants to see the Bruins.
No,
just
no.
avoid them. Even though I think the Leafs are a better team.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
When you face
just
Boston in the
avoid it.
playoffs, it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you about the Panthers, man. That's a really good point. Again, they haven't won a playoff series in 25 years. They are not battle tested. They're like the Leafs. They haven't proven shit. So
but are the Leafs battle tested after all these losses?
You could say the Leafs are more battle tested than the Panthers. They've gone through more heartbreak than this current Panthers core. I think you could absolutely say that.
Well, they've gone through more heartbreak than most teams, Anthony Bruno, if not all teams.
Leafs have gone through more heartbreak in the last 5 years than like the other 31 teams combined in their histories.
That'd be a great title for a Maple Leafs podcast. Heartbreak. The Heartbreak Show.
City.
Heartbreak
year
City
after year.